Black Shy Guy. Welcome to a brand new video, and as always, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that like button, and if you're not a resident of Chi-Town yet, make sure you subscribe. And as always, sincerely thank you for sitting at my table. We are going to dive in about Angel Reese, and obviously we all heard the sad news. Caitlin Clark is out for the season. That's very unfortunate because that means I'm out for the season, but I came back because obviously I'm going to watch the Valkyries, see if they pull off a championship win, because obviously they seem to be at the same level of the Liberties, and I really want to see the Valkyries pull it off because Kate Martin is on that team, so obviously I want them to pull it off. But let's get back to talking about Angel Reese, who seems to be in another situation once again. Listen, for everybody clamoring to Angel Reese, this is yet another scenario as to why she is not the person to look up to when it comes to being a teammate or even the face of the WNBA. How in the world are you going to talk about your own teammates that you're going to have to face when you head back into the locker room on your next game? How is that possible? What delusional world is she living in? I can't understand it. If you've been living under a rock, Angel Reese has been suspended by the WNBA, but it gets better. Let's dive in onto these reports. Chicago Sky suspend Angel Reese for 1 half after detrimental comments made about teammates. Chicago Sky, instead of suspending Angel Reese for an entire game, they suspended for 1 half. What kind of baloney crap is that? I can't understand. I can't understand. She's talked about the teammates, and the best you can do is suspend her for half a game. That is ridiculous. She needs to face the consequences for her actions. You have to suspend her for the entire game or even more. Even fine her if that's possible. And this is the person who's supposed to be the face of your franchise. And now, by the actions she's been pulling off of late, she seems to be wanting to exit the Skies. And the Chicago Skies smell a rat because they seem to know that Angel Reese wants to get out of that team. Obviously, let's continue with these reports. The Chicago Sky have suspended Angel Reese due to detrimental comments she made about her teammates. The team announced on Friday Reese will sit out the first half of the Sky's upcoming game against the Las Vegas Aces. In an interview with the Chicago Tribune, Reese made waves by calling out her teammates in the midst of a disappointing season, which is what you don't do. When did you ever see? And obviously, I'm going to compare her to Caitlin Clark because both of them are supposed to be the faces of the WNBA. Whether you want to admit it or not, Angel Reese definitely was included in being the face of the WNBA. We all know Caitlin Clark headlines that department, but you know what I'm saying. Angel Reese was a part of it. But little by little, she seems to be excluding herself because of her actions. Let's continue. In an interview with the Chicago Tribune, Reese made waves by calling out her teammates in the midst of a disappointing season. In response, the Sky have chosen to suspend their star player for a half, which is obviously the logical thing to do. The Chicago Sky values the safety, respect, and well-being of every player, obviously. We are committed to accountability so our players can stay focused on playing basketball, the team said in a statement. Because of the statements detrimental to the team made by Angel Reese, during the league mandated media, she would not play in the first half of the game on September 7th against the Las Vegas Aces. The matter has been handled, resolved eternally, and we are moving forward as a team. I don't see how you can move forward. She has lost respect of her teammates. She has completely lost the respect of her teammates, and I don't think she can get it back. I don't think she can get it back. Once you start calling out your teammates, because Angel Reese has not been that brilliant herself. And I have to admit it, she has gotten way better lately. And let's keep it 100. Let's keep it a buck here in Chi-Town. Angel Reese has gotten a lot better. She has improved, but she has not been able to carry that team to victory. Nobody cares about a double-double if the win is not pulled off. You understand what I'm saying? The record when Angel Reese is playing, Chicago's record when she's playing, it's awful. It's awful. I think it's below 500 now. She is really, really not pulling off the win for her team, and she's not making the other players better at all. At all. Let's take a look, right, at Angel Reese's 2025 stats, right? Let's take a look at how valuable she is compared to someone else. And I know you guys know who I'm about to bring up. Angel Reese, right? 14.7 points, 12.6 in rebounds, 3.7 in assists, 1.5 in steals. You would say that's pretty average, but a decent contribution to the Chicago Sky, which turns out not to be in wins, though. You know what I mean? The Chicago Sky have been awful this year. We all have to admit that. And it's obvious for Angel Reese to be frustrated and basically speak out a term, but to basically just hold your own teammates accountable and not hold yourself as a leader accountable shows that Angel Reese has no class when it comes to being a leader of a franchise, or even the face of a franchise. To be honest, there's no way Angel Reese can come back from this, and all eyes obviously are going to be on that Chicago Sky game that she suspended half a game for, because they're going to see how it plays out. You know, the relationship between Angel Reese and the players. I don't think it can be repaired. I mean, she apologized. I mean, but that apology, it doesn't go far. It doesn't go far at all. I know if I was her teammate, I wouldn't be able to accept that apology. I wouldn't be able to accept that apology at all because of what I'm going to show you. Because how valuable is Angel Reese to the team? Can they actually move away from Angel Reese? Can they actually move on from Angel Reese and seek other faces to become the face of the franchise? And I don't believe that there's a talent that is far. There's a talent on that team that honestly can become the face of the Chicago Sky if given the opportunity, because her stats are not too far apart from Angel Reese. And obviously when you exclude Angel Reese from playing the minutes she has been playing, Cardoso will have to step up, and obviously the rebounds that she has been lacking in, that Angel Reese has been taking, she is going to have to contribute to, and so shoots up her stats. Camila Cardoso, 13.5 points a game, 8.3 averages in rebounds, not bad whatsoever, and that's with Angel Reese on the floor. Think about it. That's with Angel Reese on the floor. 2.4 in assists, 0.4 in steals. A decent contribution coming off the bench. A decent contribution. And a lot of times she did start, but that's a decent contribution for Camila Cardoso. And I believe Camila Cardoso can brighten up that spot when it comes to being with the Chicago Sky. And I don't think her being a franchise for the Chicago Sky, the franchise player for that team, is not bad at all. I think she's very, very talented. My cats are going crazy. She's very much talented, and I don't think they should stray away from Camila Cardoso. I think they should put her as the face, and I really do think they should move on from Angel Reese. I think Angel Reese has been too much of a distraction, too much to the point of excluding her from the team entirely and moving away from her. I'm not sure. I don't think that can be the way to go. But is it bad if they do decide to move away from Angel Reese and stay with Camila Cardoso? That wouldn't be a bad thing. I mean, what other team? There's so many teams that would take a chance with Angel Reese, especially a team that averages above 500. Angel Reese would be in a happier place because obviously her attitude would change. But will Angel Reese put herself in a situation that she will no longer be a face to pay attention to? Because if she gets on a team, like, I believe Cameron Brick is way more talented than Angel Reese by far. So if Angel Reese goes to the Sparks, I'm just throwing things out there. Moving on from Angel Reese is going to have to be an option. It's going to have to be decided even in the offseason when this fiasco of a team called the Chicago Skies games are over. You have to decide whether you're going to stick with injuries or move on. And I don't think those players, obviously I'm assuming, I don't know any of them, obviously when it comes to their decisions and accepting injuries into the locker room is upon them. But I believe there is no way to move on from that. I think the relationship has been detached with the statement she has made, especially when accountability is very important. And when you're a leader, the first thing you do is hold yourself accountable above everyone else, above all else. Because you are the leader, you're the face of the franchise, and you're the one who's supposed to be pushing this team forward. Angel Reese chose the easy route and chose to blame everyone else. And that's why I believe Angel Reese's best thing to do is to move on, go to another team. Chicago Sky should go with Camila Cardoso. And that is my point of view when it comes to that situation. What say you? Make sure you put your comments down below, and make sure you hit the like button if you really enjoyed the video, and also subscribe if you're not a resident of Chi-Town yet. And as always, sincerely, thank you for sitting at my table. I'm out of here. Peace.
Dunking and hitting jumpers, kept Marvin Rich with him. Leo Rose like, why you dump us? Saturday's deposit, chasing SunTrust. Word to Donald that no one will ever trump us. About to put that in my bio.